Our next guest is Andy Hackett, owner and president of TeamLogicIT.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Hi, Andy. So what's TeamLogicIT?
We're a family-owned and operated small business here in Woburn. We specialize in IT services for small and mid-sized companies. And for that means we work with mainly companies with about 1 to 100 employees. That's what's small to mid-size in our world here in Woburn. And our predominant service is IT services, network solutions. Anything that an IT department might do for a small business, we do for our clients.
So you're the sort of for contract IT manager for a business?
That's right. Yeah, and we integrate with, what we do for a company with 10 employees is different than what we might do for a company with 60 or 70 employees. But our job is to be a chameleon, to act as if we are their virtual IT department. What our clients tell us is that we make them feel like we're not an outside vendor, that we're the department down the hallway,
right.
Which really helps us to be an extension of their company.
Right.
So tell us the origins of the company, since you said it's a family business.
Sure. So my dad, Jim Hackett, was the one who started the company. I came on about 6 months after, but his driving, his motivation to start the company has always been he's always been dissatisfied with IT services in the businesses that he's run throughout his career. He's been a marketing guy for 35 years. Owned a company on Congress Street in Boston, was always dissatisfied with his IT support. He experimented with in-house IT, he experimented with outsourcing, and he was never happy with the solution that he was provided. So he thought, I can't be the only small business owner in the Commonwealth that's unhappy with what I'm getting for service. And that is really what drove him to start the company. He's not an IT guy at heart. He's a business guy, he's a marketing guy, he's a sales guy. And his motivation was to always run an IT services company the way that he wanted to be treated as a business owner. And so he opened the doors with a childhood friend of his about 8 years ago. I came on board about 6 months into that, and we haven't looked back since.
So you talk about Eastern Mass. What's your region? What's the geographic region that you'll service?
So we like to stay as close to home as possible, right?
Sure.
So we've made a home here in Woburn. But we go as far north as southern New Hampshire, Nashua, and we'll go down to Providence, Rhode Island. But we try to stay within about an hour and a half of the Woburn office.
Is it a very competitive marketplace?
It's competitive, but there's also a lot of opportunity. What you find is that a lot of your competition is doing things, that you might not specialize in. You find that you help each other out for the most part. There is some direct competition, but it's just a very wide market. Every company kind of finds their own way and has their specialty, and we've been blessed in the sense that we've been able to grow through a lot of customer referrals, and that's the best way to grow.
So how does one differentiate? How does one IT services firm differentiate themselves from the next one?
That's a great question. I get asked that quite frequently when I'm in sales calls and business development meetings, and my first answer is always our people. It's a customer service business first. It just so happens to be IT, and that's the way we've always grown the company. So I'm obviously biased towards my people. I think my people are great. They're technical, they're highly technical, but going back to the initial premise that my dad had was he wanted IT professionals that could communicate to the business owners, not just the IT, but from a business perspective. And so I think that gives us a leg up when my guys can come in and not just sell IT solutions, but sell business solutions. It's assumed in Massachusetts that your guys can do the IT work. We're in a very technical part of the country.
Sure.
Probably one of the most technical outside of maybe Southern California. So we take the stance that it's assumed we can do the work. What else can we do to further entrench ourselves with a relationship? And quite frankly, I think it's our people, it's our leadership, it's the direction of the company that starts at the top with my dad.